We begin tonight at 5 with our continuing coverage of the commuter crisis at the Washington Bridge. The shutdown of that bridge has been a nightmare for so many people, none more than those living in neighborhoods directly impacted by that closure. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm John DeLuca.
And I'm Tiffany Murphy. Complaints are piling up tonight as huge trucks snake their way through residential roads, and it's keeping neighbors up at night. ABC 6 News reporter Caitlin Gelhaus spent the day speaking with many of those residents, and she joins us now live with more. Caitlin.
Well, Tiffany and John, after catching up with folks in Providence, they shared with me that they just want this Washington Bridge to be fixed, and they want it to be fixed as soon as possible. Now, they also told me that they do not have trust in state leaders, and they're worried.
I think it's terrible. It's terrible. This is, I don't want to say this is Rhode Island, but it's like Rhode Island that they let it get this far.
After nearly 2 months of chaos, federal officials coming from Washington, D.C. to see the Washington Bridge for themselves and say the fix could take a year or two to complete if they have to rebuild.
If they bring down the bridge, that's a disaster. Yet you want a healthy, well-engineered bridge.
This week, engineers and planners are analyzing traffic patterns, trying to figure out the most effective way to set up the area in the meantime. Still, residents are not confident in the state's leadership.
I'm a little discouraged by the governor's response. At times he said, we're just not talking about this or that at the time.
And one ABC 6 News viewer voicing her concerns on our Now Local News app.
I think some of the concerning things with the Washington Bridge situation have to do with how fast things were closed down, how unclear it was to the public, how there was just no transparency in when things would open back up, how serious the situation was. And now half the bridge is still open, which hopefully that's okay.
People in areas like Wayland Square tell me large trucks have taken to cutting through the city to avoid the bridge traffic. They say what once was a peaceful neighborhood is now anything but.
So the trucks are smart because they don't want to get in traffic, so they come by at 3 in the morning. So we hear them rumbling down, and it's terrible because they're digging up our streets.
Now, Providence Mayor Brett Smiley is asking those truckers to remain on the highway instead of rerouting into the local neighborhoods and creating a disturbance. We're live in Providence. Caitlin Gelhaus, ABC 6 News.